All right, all right, all right. Welcome to Groove On, everybody, for the Sunday special 60 Minutos from CBS, our UFOs A Threat show, with Rich Giordano and Michael Roser from Dark Hour Paranormal. What's up, everybody? Hey, Michael.
Hey, how's it going, Rich? Great to see you tonight, and thanks for the invite on the show. Regardless of what we're going to get here, it's going to be a fascinating journey into another leg of what we're very soon approaching here.
Thank you for coming on, too, because I didn't give you a lot of time to think about it. I said, hey, you know what? You want to help out? It's like it would be good just to have somebody else's opinion, and I like your opinion, so I thought it would be a good way to get this show going. Instead of just listening to me, we'll get you, and we'll hear what's going on in the chat room, because today things are a little different in ufology, and we're getting a lot of mainstream play, especially the threat and the Corbell videos, the nap pictures, and now, apparently, Danny Graves, I believe, is being interviewed here on 60 Minutes, who was on the Nimitz back in the day with, I believe it was the Nimitz in 2004 with Fravor, the Tic Tac stuff and all that. He's going to tell us that it's a threat. You guys probably saw the little interview that they showed us a clip on 60 Minutes of him talking about how he sees UFOs every day. Michael, and before we get started with everybody, I'm not going to be doing the roll call, but honestly, without listening to me, if you didn't even know me, do you think UFOs are a threat? Have you ever thought it?
No, actually, I have never thought that UFOs were a threat. In fact, to me, they were always a point of curiosity and no more. And this is, of course, growing up in the 80s and the 90s. This narrative didn't start to take form until a little bit later on. And, if it wasn't there initially, then it was obviously something crafted. Question is, why? I mean, that's obviously something that has many different branches in the way of explanation. But yeah, to answer your question, Rich, I never thought, even in my own personal experiences, believe it or not, where I have seen something that I can't identify, never felt it was a threat. It was still very intriguing to me, and I was more awestruck than anything else.
I'm listening to everything you're saying, and I'm the same way. It was a curiosity thing for me. I never thought, oh my God, the aliens are going to come get me, even with all the movies and all that stuff, showing the aliens and taking over our bodies and taking over the world, Independence Day. I never thought of them that way. And, I grew up with E.T., and Star Wars, where, I mean, that's a little different, Star Wars. But I'm looking for the video that was the 1 minute clip of Graves talking here. So you see me looking over in one direction. That's why. Why are we doing this? Why is 60 Minutes doing this? Number one, I want your opinion on that. And then number two, why a threat? Why? I mean, that's what I want to know. I know why, but I want to hear what you I think I know why.
Well, I mean, obviously one of those questions is a little bit more weighty than the other. So I'll start with the lesser of the two. I think that, 60 Minutes has always been on some sort of fringe journalism in certain respects. They've taken risks and overstepped boundaries in the past, maybe not as much as you might see in perhaps an underground production or something a little less monitored. But in the way of mainstream media, 60 Minutes has always brought a little new edge, or something. I want to say something new or a different angle on a particular story or whatever it was that they were covering in the way of this hour-long documentary. Essentially, it's kind of what it turns out to be. So with what's happening now and what we're seeing in the mainstream media in the way of public awareness with UFOs, I mean, it could be something as simple as, well, people are interested in this. Maybe this will bring in ratings because this is a new or growing interest. Or it could be something much more nefarious, wherein, they're adding and contributing to the disinformation campaign. I mean, we'll have to see, but 60 Minutes as a production has its own accolades. And although I did talk to Cousins Brothers about this earlier, and the way that I would mention it is that out of all of the syndicated news outlets out there, if they're all sitting in front of you on a table, you have to look around and say, well, which one's the least worst? And I would put 60 Minutes in that category. So that's to answer your question there. And to go on to your second one, why the narrative fear? Well, I think it's really as simple as what we all suspect. Number one, fear has been a tool that's been used in so many various ways. It's so close to us as a personal affect or experience that once somebody had realized that they could manipulate in others, they understood the power of control. At that point, it's probably the preference of whatever person or energy is deciding to go down that route and, bring in this element of control and power and separation, really is what it ends up being. And that obviously can be witnessed in many different ways, but it's an old tool that's been used. And I still think that those who are in control and those who are really driving, what experience we are all collectively having here on Earth. And I do mean actual people. I don't mean anything etheric.
Yeah.
I think that they're still very much clinging on to an archaic notion that fear is something that can always be used to manipulate people, while completely missing the fundamental understanding of what it is to be a human being. And that is that we are manifested change. Whichever direction we go, something will always change. We will always adapt and move into something new. So to look at something as large as fear, and again, as personal as that particular emotion is to us, there's obviously a much larger awareness growing amongst people who are stepping up and saying, hey, wait a minute, I'm thinking for myself here. That doesn't sound like a threat. Or, okay, I hear you guys talking about a threat in the way of UAPs and so forth, but you're not necessarily talking about that they're in our skies, zigzagging and possibly colliding with other aircraft that are ours. You're talking about them coming up to our doorstep and being a very frontal threat rather than something more peripheral. So, I mean, people that are actually starting to think for themselves and look at some of these broadcasts that are coming out in the mainstream, especially because right now, keep in mind, for a lot of people, this is their introduction. Okay. They've heard about certain things. Right. They know who Carl Sagan is. They know who Arthur C. Clarke is. They watch Unsolved Mysteries, but those are all things that they would talk about in a very past sense around a bonfire, sipping on a cold beverage. Today, when it's in your face so much more, they will have the opportunity to say, hey, this is something more prevalent. I'm learning more about it. People are becoming interested. It's becoming talk around the water cooler. They might feel more comfortable to look into it. But if they're given the wrong information, or they have the wrong people, or we have the wrong people being the face of what we do, then we're going to have a very, very thin ice situation in which people aren't really understanding the gist and just buying into that narrative of fear. Sorry to be so long-winded.
That wasn't. It was excellent, because you hit on a lot of points, and one of them was the most recent one, is like, who's representing me? I don't think they're representing my thoughts and my views on UFOs, or why they're here and whatever. This is strictly a military point of view, I feel, and they have to be this way. I understand that. I get it. They're in our airspace, but it's not our airspace. It's Earth. It's, if we went to another planet, right, and visited a civilization, we wouldn't know if we were in anybody's airspace unless we studied them for a billion years, So there's a lot of what ifs and what should be's, but I got the clip here. I want you guys to hear what we're in for. Now, before I play the clip, I just realized that 60 Minutes isn't doing the entire 60 minutes on this. What may be bad, Michael, and I think this is what they're going to do, is do it on their last 20 minutes. And I know you have to leave to go to the Black Lotus, and that's fine. I get it. But let's hope we get at least 10 minutes of the live show, and you're still here for that.
They premiere at 7, right?
In 4
Eastern?
Minutes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. So no, I will be okay. I'll make it happen.
Well, you don't have to. I'm just saying. You got that. If you got to go, you got to go. But they'll be done in an hour anyway, so we'll see. All right, I'm going to play this quick clip to get you guys warmed up. I'm going to put me and Michael in the shadows. Maybe. Yeah, I will. All right, here we go. Yeah, I don't know, Michael. When it's too good to be true, it usually is. And they were working with, I think, updated FLIR. No, that wasn't this one. I don't know. There was one of these sightings where they were working with an updated FLIR system, but I don't know, man. Every day for a couple of years, somebody would see something. And that's really amazing if you think about it.
That's
It's
what I
huge.
would imagine. I would imagine any sort of airline pilot, whether it's commercial or military, to be witnessing these things with much more frequency than perhaps is reported. We've talked about that, and of course, the risk of opening your mouth, and perhaps you've signed a non-disclosure agreement. I mean, there's plenty of possibilities, as to why some of these people aren't really speaking out. But coming from the horse's mouth, the one who's out there in the field, and usually they're there with themselves or another person, piloting the craft.
Yeah.
Those stories I think will have a lot of gravity moving forward, at least in the way of corroboration or trying to really identify what's being given to us in the way of, governmental documents and information. Perhaps some of these people who have actually seen these are it's persistent that they're having these experiences in the skies. They can clear some of these things up for us, but maybe I'm just wishful thinking.
Maybe. Gordon Stroup says, why are they a threat? Because they don't understand them and what they do and all that stuff, period. Yeah, that's true. They don't understand them and what they want to do. Good point, Gordon. I think that's part of it. They don't, and I guess that is what Luis Elizondo says. We don't understand them. We don't know what they're doing. Well, so you immediately go to threat. Yeah, I guess you have to, get ready for the worst. Why can't you just prepare for the best?
Fear of the unknown. There's a defense mechanism that comes up anytime someone comes up with a fear of the unknown. So I think that's natural, but we have intellect and we have reasoning abilities. So knowing that we're prone to doing something like that and taking on an emotional role rather than an intellectual one, I would think at this point, maybe we could step back a little bit and view it differently.
And I'm trying to pull up the show to see, because it's supposed to be starting now. And for some reason, it's not pulling up. Well, that would suck.
Well, it'd be a small wrench.
Yeah, I can't. I can't seem to get it the show on. That's weird. It shows it right here, 60 minutes. I mean, here it is. It says new, starting, join live. Okay, start from the beginning. Let's join live. Now, I can't play this stuff on the show. So what I'm going to have to do is keep the volume a little low. You guys won't be able to hear it. I'm going to have to explain what's going on. So, I don't want to get fired. Now, just to let you know, they're going to be talking about facial recognition. I don't know what Rafa is, and here it is, and they say it says UUPs here, but it should be UAP, and I don't know what Rafa is. So I think they're going to put this in the middle, like this will be the second story out of 3, is what it seems like. So we still have a few minutes, I think. So I'm just going to leave it here for a second and play in the background.
That would be good if it was the second story.
Yeah, it would be.
That'd be perfect.
I think it is. Oh, Rafa's a tennis guy.
Huh.
So it's in the order that they have the title. So the title says facial recognition, then the UUPs, then Rafa. That's how they're showing it in the preview. So it may be the second. We may have to wait 20 minutes.
Okay.
Let's take a...
that old familiar sound.
I'm John Wortha. I'm Scott Pelley. Those stories and more tonight on 60 Minutes.
Yay! I got to get me a stopwatch. Just, you know what I mean? Maybe put it in the background somewhere. Okay, so there's a commercial on right now. All right, so we have started officially, and I want to thank everybody for coming over here. We've got a nice crowd settling in. As soon as 60 Minutes is over and Michael leaves, we're going to just stay here for another few minutes, and we're not going to be dragging the show out for 2-3 hours. So it's going to be the 60-minute special, and that's it. And then we're out of here. Michael, what are you guys talking about over on Black Lotus tonight?
I don't know.
Okay.
And that's always my fault. I'll be honest with you. And hopefully Damien's not listening right now, but I never know what we're talking about. They send me all the information. I never get to review it. And I walk into the show and I know what we're doing as soon as they present the topic. So yeah, I just kind of show up and I don't know. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Is it Black Lotus? Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
2 words or 1?
I believe Black Lotus is 1 word.
It is, I think, because I just tried it.
Productions is the second. Yeah.
Oh, it's Black Lotus Productions?
Yes. We're doing paranormal investigations tonight with XII Duncan.
Oh, I was just trying to look at it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Who's XII?
I'm not sure. I probably should know. I should probably know, but I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I mean, either way, it'll be a fun time. And, given the fact that I'm going out on my first paranormal investigation, not 1, but 2 tomorrow night, as I've mentioned to some of you guys in the chat. Yeah, Rich, I don't know what the hell's going on here. I mean, since I met Christopher Lazarick from Night Shadows ghost hunting outfit there, they formally invited me to be a member of the team, whether I wanted to be a cameraman, investigator or anything. They did this a couple days ago. So, they offered me these other positions knowing what I had said in respect to, I don't really want to be the one, investigating because I don't want any attachment nonsense and so forth. Say, well, you can still be part of it. Let us know what you want to do.
Wow.
But I'm on the edge here because there's got to be some reason that this guy just randomly showed up that day and I was able to interview him and connect with him. There has to be a reason that it's his particular work of investigating the paranormal that's now coming back into my life. I'm just really apprehensive, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Good. No, I'm glad.
I feel like I have to.
Yeah. It seems like it's all rolling right the way it should be for you with that. No, you got to go with the signs. Some people don't.
Yeah. No, you're right. And especially when it's a sign where you sit back and question it because you've, reneged the idea so many times before. I think the mature thing to do here would be to say, okay, I'll go into it with a different intention, still knowing why I'm there, but a different intention, and see what the actual experience has for me rather than me going and trying to find the experience.
That's cool. Man, I'm glad you can do that and have the time to do that. So good for you. It's starting. I just want to. Okay, they are talking about facial recognition first, so we're safe for a minute. I didn't get to talk to you too much or at all about. Did we? I don't think I can't remember anything because I'm so messed up with sleep.
Right.
You saw the video from Corbell, obviously the most recent one. And I'd like to get your take on it. I'm going to play a small short clip here of it, just so people only the last 20 seconds or so, because that's the important part. So I'm going to play this. Then I want to get your thoughts on it before the show starts here with 60 Minutes. So let's play this, because this is what really kickstarted me wanting to do this, but it's also the threat assessment and all that stuff. I don't believe there's a threat, but here it is. I don't know what I just said. I can't even think. Oh, Bank of America. Thank you. So we got the black dot, the blob of crap. Could be anything. Could be a hot balloon. Oh,
Splashed. Mark bearing a
splash. It doesn't mean it's splashed. It means it either went down or, went in the water, whatever, splash. They assumed it, but when you watch that video and the details, it's at night, it's FLIR, it's a heat signature. What are your thoughts on this thing?
Before I go into some of the more obvious points here, I'm gonna bring up the idea that I liked Mick West's thoughts on some of these videos too, especially when it came to the horizon. Yeah, I really enjoyed the effect that the light that he pointed out there, which is very true. But again, when we look at these things, sometimes we don't think of that first off. Perhaps this object didn't enter the water the way that we would think. Okay, if there is a supercavitation element to these crafts in any way, shape, or form, they technically don't exist in anything but their own space, insofar as what we can say. So for a craft to be riding through the air and perfectly fluidly, no problems, and then enters something that has a lot of, how do I put this? Enters a different element altogether. So we're going into the water. While it might appear on our end that it actually enters the water, it may be shifting phase in a way that it's going into the same space that the water occupies, but it's not actually in the water in a physical sense. Now, again, this is something, to kind of throw out there. It's an idea, but if there's any possibility of that, we might not necessarily jump to that conclusion right off. We're saying it goes right into the water. So my point in this is that, yes, we have a black dot. It's a heat signature. It's really difficult to learn any sort of characteristics from it. And yet we want to come to this conclusion about what it is or what it's doing based on this one clip. It's tough to tell with these videos, man. My overall thought, it's really difficult to tell. This thing seems to be just floating off the top of the water, minding its own business. So I don't see where the threat comes in. In fact, it goes under the water, disappears, and for all intents and purposes, leaves everybody on the ship alone. So I don't see any threat there. And it's really strange how they twist that narrative to make it look like that or sound that way. Because when you're looking at the video, it's not what you see.
Well, they're not saying this video in question is a threat. Overall, they're saying UAPs are a threat, but they would take this as a threat, being an object that they don't know is there or don't know what it is, but it's in their airspace or in their area because they don't know and they don't know the intentions. They don't know what it is. They don't know how it works, but it can outmaneuver all their shit. They feel threatened by it. Like I always say, it may be cloudy over my house, but it doesn't mean it's going to rain.
Correct.
So I understand it. I just don't like it being represented every single time they're talking about it. I think it has to do with the 180 days thing, too. I think this threat vamped up because of that and that alone, because they want all this data released.
It's funny if they're going to consent to release all this data and yet they're appearing to still not have a strong foothold on it themselves. It's kind of odd that they're going to release it to us when in any other circumstance, it seems that they knew way more than whatever they were releasing to the public, not necessarily in this field.
The video that you just talked about, we all watched, apparently there were 13 other objects they saw. They were illuminated. I don't know, but maybe, and it can't be, but because it's going against the wind. So the flares, the balloons, it couldn't be those because they go with the wind. So that's what Mick West said. Let me just play what he said here. And this way, we don't have to keep talking forever.
He did a great job, though. He really did.
He did as good as he could do. He did, yeah. He did a really good job. You should try getting him on.
I should.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know if he'd come on my show, but I'd like to see you talk to him. Here we go.
Yeah, I'll reach out.
Yeah, do, will you? I got his phone number. You want me to call him? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Like I called Corbell during the show.
Right.
All right,
UFO footage and found some interesting things. One, the video does not show the object moving rapidly left and right or making any sudden moves. The apparent rapid motions are all camera motion.
Oh.
Two, it's not one continuous shot.
Oh.
There's actually a 6-minute cut in the middle. 3, there's no clear splashdown. It just shrinks away at or behind the horizon, meaning it's miles away. 4, it's maybe a large infrared glare.
He said, meaning that it's miles away. That's really an interesting statement. How does he know?
That's a very good question.
Right? Isn't that what he said?
Miles away.
Whoops.
4,
Yep.
it just shrinks away at or behind the horizon, meaning it's miles away.
Nah, that is really...
If it's behind the horizon.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. See, I knew he was right.
4, it's maybe a large infrared glare around a smaller heat source. Let's break all that down. Number 1, the most significant thing is that there's no change in the left-right motion, no sudden moves. I know it looks like it's flying left and then right, but the key thing to look at is the motion relative to the ocean when the video has been stabilized. Try to ignore the crosshairs moving around. Look at the region of the ocean surface in the orange box. It moves smoothly from right to left relative to the object, which means the object has an apparent motion to the right, which does not change. If you scrub through the entire video stabilized, you see this constant movement to the right. The ocean surface seems to move left, so the object seems to move right.
That is interesting right there, too. It's constantly moving in the same direction, by the way, against the wind.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting how he's breaking this down too, and kind of capturing and compartmentalizing some of these shots, or what he's noticing within the cuts themselves. Even in watching this video, the first time I saw it, I didn't think that we were seeing the object or the subject moving itself. I thought it was something more peripheral. But here he is really explaining why that may be the case.
For those of you who are joining us, 60 Minutes, they're not doing the whole 60-minute show on the UAPs, but they should be starting that segment in roughly 7 to 10 minutes, maybe a little longer. They have 3 things tonight: facial recognition, which they're on now. Then they're going to talk about the UAPs. And then after that, something else. So it should be coming up, in about 5-10 minutes. So Michael and I are just going over Mick West's sort of debunk of what he thinks this object might be and might be doing. Here we go.
Number 2. There are 6 minutes and 21 seconds missing from the video. I don't know if it was cut out or if it's actually just 2 videos spliced together. But you see that 27 seconds into the video, the position of the object jumps much closer to the horizon, and the on-screen time goes from 53 minutes and 19 seconds to 59 minutes and 40 seconds. If you don't notice this cut, you might think the object was dropping a lot quicker.
Yeah, I don't know if that's really significant, but why do they have a whole hour worth of stuff and then just take out those 6 minutes and 29 seconds?
Exactly. That's odd.
What happened? I want to know if it was removed because something was said that verified what it was. And, people don't want us to know that because this thing disappears on camera. I don't know, man. I hate it when I don't have control.
Visual. Might have had something visual. If it was just an audio, I mean, maybe they would have removed the audio. We would still had that 6 minutes. But, for all we know, this thing started doing a looping turn spelled out, "I love you, Mom." And, we don't know what the hell happened in between that time, if indeed Mick West is correct about there being missing time.
Alien girl, that's not at all what I said. I said it's going to be in about 10 minutes. I said that 3 times. So they're going to start their segment about 5 to 10 minutes. She's saying an hour or 40 minutes from now. I'm like, yeah, why don't everybody just leave? No, it's going to happen. I hope I didn't come across as being condescending, but I did say it 3 times. All right.
I expect the missing 6 minutes are really boring, just showing it continuing to descend really, really slowly. Number 3. When the object vanishes, you hear people in the video say it splashed, meaning it landed or crashed in the ocean. But remember, this is at 11 at night, very dark, and the object seems to be...
Wait a minute, meaning it landed? They wouldn't say splash if it landed, would they? I don't know.
Miles away based on the extreme digital zoom, so they are probably just looking at this infrared video, the same thing that we see. The object disappears from view right at the horizon. It does not seem to be gradually obscured from the bottom up, but rather it shrinks and vanishes, and then grows back into view for a fraction of a second, and then rapidly fades out again. Some of that is hard to see due to video compression, but the shrinking seems fairly clear.
What do you see in here, Michael? And then I'll tell you what I think's happening. What do you think's going on with this thing?
Well, I will say that it does remind me of, very briefly, if there was some sort of foghorn ship close to the horizon and there were some sort of waves, at one moment you see the light and the next you don't, it dips under the waves and comes back up. But the curious thing here is that it seems to be emanating from a center point. So, Rich, I'm not really sure. This heat signature, it's a heat signature. We're not looking at a solid object or something that represents a solid object. This is just a heat signature.
We might be looking. Yeah, well, I've watched this now probably 50 times. I don't think it's waves. I don't think it's being obscured. I think it would disappear differently. It would be messier instead of a perfect decrease in size. I think it would be scattered, like the waves crashing, you know what I mean? It would just be it wouldn't be like it is. I said last night that I think this might be some sort of technology that we have that's being either shined in their direction, pointed in their direction, and they don't know it. And it could be it could be another ship in the distance pointing at them. You know, maybe there's a bright light that's on that they don't, but don't you think they would see it with their naked eye, considering it's nighttime? So you got to throw that out the window.
Mhm.
So is this some sort of, some sort of weapon that, not weapon, but instrument that can create heat in front of these people? Yeah, I don't know. I think it might be a UFO, like a real one.
I think you might be right about this in that respect. And I gave a little bit of thought to, if this was some sort of technology that they had captured that, we have at a different faction of government. I don't think they would have gotten as far as they did, even, videotaping that. I think somebody would have been aware of that. If not, I mean, there's a slip up, but that's got to be a rarity when it comes to, the tight security people keep around higher technology. And of course, I don't expect the Navy to know everything that's going on, just as, many branches of government don't know, what the next one knows in regards to even a specific topic. So, yeah, I think right here, if they don't know what they're looking at and it isn't our technology, which I'm leaning towards it not being, we might actually be witnessing a real UFO and just UFO. And one comment on what the gentleman said there in respect to it splashing, that could have been an automatic reflex in respect, because he saw it coming down and, his expectation was that it was going into the water. When it finally connected with what he thought, looked like the water, oh, it splashed. Maybe of something more reflexive than intentional.
Exactly. That's all it is. It's at night. It disappeared before his eyes. He's assuming it must have gone in the water or fell out of the sky. They're on a commercial. I have YouTube TV, so that's how I'm watching this. I don't have cable. I have YouTube TV, and thank God they have it on. So yeah, it's coming up next. They're on a commercial break. We've got 150 people live. So thank you all for coming here and hanging out. And don't forget, you could like, share, and subscribe, goof on, support us, through PayPal, Cash App, or become a patron member, Patreon, whatever the hell it is. And, or super chats too. If you like what's going on, you appreciate the show, support goof on so we could do this full time forever. So we got another 2 minutes of commercials here. Let me finish up the Mick West thing. Now, I'm not going to be able to play 60 minutes live on the show, just so you know. It's going to be a copyright thing. So I am going to listen to it with Michael here, and I will tell you what's going on. Unfortunately, that's all I can do. But I'll show you. No, I won't be able to show you. I can show you, but I can't. This is the best we could do because it's the way it is. All right.
Yep.
You guys are good. Hey, Area 503. Thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate
Area
that.
503.
He says, thanks for doing this hangout and cutting out the fluff from 60 Minutes. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's going to be fluff tonight since they've only got, a 20-minute segment. But thank you for the super chat. Super generoso. All right.
All this is that there is zero indication that it's a trans-medium craft that is transitioning to flying underwater. We just lose sight of it at the horizon. So what are we looking at? I initially thought a balloon, simply because it seemed round and it was descending so slowly. My number 2 hypothesis was a glare from a flare descending on a parachute, and I moved more towards that after looking at the shrinking that looks like obscuring by the horizon. But this arrow here seems to indicate where north is, and the wind would have been coming roughly from the north, and the apparent motion of the object seems to be towards the north, i.e. against the wind. So that seems to point more towards a powered craft.
All right, I got to stop, but it's on. Let me listen in here real quick. Michael, can you understand what's going on? Can you hear it?
As long as you're not talking.
More commonly known as UFOs.
I don't want anybody, I don't want to get in trouble. So let me mute myself while it's going on.
Wait, what now?
Oh, wow.
So what you're telling
Lou Elizondo, hold on.
is that
UFOs
flying objects
are real. And Lou says,
For the record that they're real. I'm not telling you that.
we're beyond that. The government's already told us they're real.
Luis Elizondo
Now they're telling us about Luis Elizondo's history and
worldwide.
Afghanistan and been around the world.
He hadn't given UFOs
Yeah,
a second
pretty
thought
amazing.
until 2008.
That's a hell of a life.
He joined something at the Pentagon called the Advanced Aerospace.
He joined ATIP in 2008, they're saying. Now, I'm going to pause this while I'm telling you about it, so I don't want to get in trouble. But thank you guys for the patience here. I'll do my best. Just talking about what ATIP did.
UFOs. We call them UAPs.
The guy says, you know how this sounds. It sounds nutty, wacky.
The question is, what
Lou's
is it?
saying, what is it?
Intentions?
What's its intentions?
Buried away in the Pentagon.
Now they're talking about the Pentagon, about the secret room. That's the UFO room.
Sponsored by then Senate Majority Leader
Harry Reid.
to investigate UFOs. When Elizondo took over in 20.
So Lou Elizondo took over in 2010. I think that's what he just said here about something with Harry Reid, because I'm trying to do this and tell you that it turned into, in 2010, turned into a threat situation.
U.S. service members.
Imagine a technology that can do 600 to 700 G-forces. that
Now
can
he's
fly
talking
over
about
2,000
how
miles,
objects can move,
that,
stop on a
can
dime,
radar,
you know,
and that can fly
hundreds
through
of
air
G-forces,
and water and possibly space.
can go into
And
water,
by the way, has
space,
no obvious signs of
no
propulsion,
signs of
no
propulsion,
wings,
no control
yet still can
services,
defy the natural effects
and
of
yet it can
gravity.
still defy the
That's
natural
precisely
effects
what
of gravity. That's what we're seeing.
ATIP was a loose-knit mix of scientists,
So far, nothing new.
engineers, avionics, and intelligence experts, often working part-time. They comb through data and
He says there's a department in the Pentagon that, you know, has a bunch of people with science backgrounds analyzing data like this.
a Navy aircraft.
Talking about the 2004 Nimitz. Yo, got it. So now they're showing us Corbell's recent pyramid, and they're saying that the Pentagon doesn't know what's being recorded. They're showing the 3 videos that we're all familiar with. Hold on, let me. They're not saying anything. In some cases, there are situations where we can explain everything, and in some cases, they're not. That's what Lou just said. In some cases, we can explain. In some cases, we can't. Really? I mean, come on, really? Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I have to remember that there's people out there who are new to this, so I apologize if I seem so harsh. Sorry.
Well,
this is very important.
He's still not saying anything.
Say something, Lou. Say something new. Say something new. I can't. The pressure.
Simply jumping to a conclusion that's saying, oh, that.
All of what I just showed you, Lou was talking the whole time, and he said, with all the stuff and everything that we have, we still have unexplained. Yeah, no crap, dude. Yeah, I know.
That's when it becomes.
He says, okay, here is where.
And that's when it becomes problematic.
He says, when they enter our airspace is when it becomes problematic. Really? I don't remember any pilot in any of our, not Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines getting shot down and killed by UFO. Well, in Vietnam, they saw the Foo Fighter lights basically that shot them down. Well, reflected their bullets back onto them, apparently. Yeah. All right.
Former Navy pilot
Go ahead.
Lieutenant Ryan.
What was that?
Just going to say there are very few instances that are actually cataloged in some verifiable way wherein we had conflict with something off-world. They're mostly, tales, I think, but we don't really know.
Yeah. Now they got Graves here. Did I say Danny Graves before? I think it's Ryan Graves.
Graves
Yeah.
calls
Hold on, let me make sure.
all those what ifs,
Yeah, it's Ryan.
and you're still left with.
I said Danny.
The fact that
Did I
this
think I
is
put it in the
your
description
space
as
is real.
Danny Graves? Isn't he a
That's when
baseball
it
player?
becomes compelling.
I don't know.
Graves
Ryan.
calls
Ryan Graves, immediately the first thing they say is he calls it a security threat.
he told.
Now they're playing that 1 minute clip that I just played for you guys before we started here.
When they updated their
They did update the radar. I was right and wrong.
So you're seeing it both with the radar and with the infrared.
He says, so you're seeing them both with the radar and the infrared. There's something out there, the guy says. And the guy says, Ryan says, pretty much. Now they're showing George Knapp's beautiful picture of nothing.
Lieutenant Graves told us,
My opinion. Batman, they're showing a Batman balloon.
Oh boy.
Every day.
Every day we see them, he says. Every day for a couple of years.
I don't see an exhaust pipe.
Including this one.
They're just talking about, obviously. Whoa! Again. It's now 3 times they've played this clip.
Of course.
Oh, you can hear the surprise in their voices. Yes, you can. They couldn't believe what they were seeing.
See something like this.
This is a difficult one.
They're talking about the gimbal.
You have high altitude.
You have rotation, you have high altitude.
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
And then the guy says, what is it? He goes, I have no idea.
Pilots speculate they are
They're either secret U.S. technology, adversary spies, or something otherworldly.
I would say, the highest.
You know what this show is? It's an introduction to the threat. An official introduction to the threat of UFOs.
So we'll go with my latter thoughts. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm playing it. Amazing. Oh, the guy just said, do you think it could be Chinese technology? And he goes, I don't see why not. Well, that's an interesting statement too, because if they're that far advanced, why didn't they go to the moon for? Well, I guess things have changed over the last 10, 20 years with China. China's now really becoming a force to deal with. They just landed on Mars. And apparently they were 10 years behind us in technology and stuff like that. Outer space technology.
Has to be a front.
Yeah, we'll talk. He just asked him, are you alarmed? And Ryan says, I am worried. And then I'll continue with where he left off.
Frank.
He says, if these were tactical jets hanging around up there, it would be a major issue. Yeah, that's because it's your adversaries and they're spying on you. All right, let me continue here. But because it looks slightly different,
we're happy to just ignore the fact.
We're happy to ignore the fact that they're just out there watching us.
At least publicly, since closing its Project Blue Book investigation in
Wow.
1969. But that began to change. Which was documented.
Now they're talking about the Nimitz.
And 4 naval aviators. We spoke to 2 of them.
David Fravor,
graduate of the Top Gun
something,
commander of the F-18 squadron
and commander
USS Nimitz,
of the F-18 squadron. Lieutenant. Oh, she's never spoken. Let me read. Hold on.
David Fravor, a graduate of the Top Gun Naval Flight School and commander of the F-18 squadron on the USS Nimitz, and flying at his wing, Lieutenant Alex Dietrich, who'd never talked about this. Never spoken publicly about the encounter.
I never wanted to be on national TV. No offense.
She said she never wanted to be on national TV.
Because I was in a government aircraft.
Because I was in a government aircraft. Because I was on the clock. I feel a responsibility to share what I can that's unclassified.
It was November 2004, and the USS
They're talking about it more in depth.
was training about 100 miles.
They were training about 100 miles southwest of San Diego. For a week, the advanced radar on a nearby ship
had
detected what operators called anomalous aerial vehicles over the horizon, descending 80,000 feet in less than a second. On November 14th, Fravor and Dietrich, they were averted to go investigate it. Oh, she's the woman. Okay, now that makes sense.
So as we're looking at this,
I'm going to listen quietly.
and it's just kind of moved.
Fravor's talking about how they were communicating, and she said, "Do you see that thing down there?" And now he's explaining what he saw, so I'll tell you what he says. So she circled above, and then Fravor went in for a closer look. So he was spiraling down towards it.
He goes,
Mhm.
and just turns abruptly and starts mirroring me. So as I'm coming
And
down,
then he said that the object, which everybody knows the story, started mirroring his movement.
He said it was about the size of his
It was about the size of his F-18, with no markings, no wings, no exhaust plume.
So I go like this, and it's
He says it kept climbing, and then it got right in front of him, and then it disappeared. He didn't say it took off yet.
disappears, like gone.
Disappears like gone. That's what he
What
said.
are you thinking?
So your mind tries to make sense of it. And
She's like-
categorize this as maybe a helicopter or maybe a drone. And
She's like, maybe it's a
when it
helicopter, it's a
disappeared, I mean,
drone.
just-
Then when it disappeared, your mind's trying to make sense of what happened.
There was 4 of us in the airplanes, literally watching this thing for roughly about 5 minutes.
So they watched it for 5 minutes. 4 people and 2 pilots, 2 co-pilots were watching it for about 5 minutes, and there were 2 radars that were tracking it.
Seconds later, the
Seconds
president
later.
acquired the target 60 miles away.
Wait, I missed something. Seconds later, somebody.
Did your backseaters
Let me see.
this too?
In the airplanes,
Hold on,
literally
I
watching
missed
this
it
thing
because
for
I got to
roughly
take
about
this
5
off.
minutes.
Seconds later, the prince.
Oh, seconds later, the Princeton reacquired the target, but it was 60 miles away. Dude, that's cool.
That is
That's-
interesting.
That's wow, that's crazy. In a few minutes?
That's quite interesting.
It could be another object, though. Could have
It's
been
possible.
another one, right? Yeah.
I'd like to know what credentials they used to identify
Yeah, yeah.
that it was what they were following. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, I don't think they can.
Onto it with a targeting camera, or it zipped
Hold on.
off again.
She's saying we talked about if I would have seen this solo, I don't know if I would have reported it. But because there were other witnesses, that they felt safer to do that they didn't look so crazy. That's interesting. I don't like
That's
that
significant.
they feel that way, right?
No, yeah, absolutely. But it is significant in respect to what we're dealing with. If, let's say academia at large did that and they, got a bunch of guys together, say, all right, we're going to kind of, support you in whatever you're going to say because I've seen something and he's seen something. It would be a totally different world, man. But yeah, it's unfortunate that they feel that way. They can't come out and actually just talk about this safely.
And that was in 2004, but it's changed since then. People now are able to come out, these pilots are able to come out apparently talk about it, but I still feel like they're still going to be reprimanded some way. Like they may be passed up on a promotion, or, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't trust anything that the government, the Navy, the Army, all these people, they're all liars. But
unless
they
you're
have
Randy
to.
Kramer, and in
Unless
which
you're
case, you were told to go and tell everybody this. So, I mean,
totally different story. All right. Well, we're doing pretty good here. So let me see what's next.
There's something.
Yes.
Oh, there's definitely something that.
So he just posed a question after they were saying how, they felt like they wouldn't have said anything if they were by themselves. And he's like, there is something. And got quiet for a second, and Fravor goes, there's something. So now he's explaining it.
Who's building it?
Who's doing
Who's
it?
got the
Who's building
technology?
it? Who has the technology?
There's something out there
There's something out there that
better than our airplane.
that's better than our
filed
airplane.
Reports. Then, like the mysterious flying object, the Nimitz encounter disappeared. Nothing.
Can you hear word for word what's being said when I do it that way, or no?
when you're not talking, I can hear
Okay.
everything. Yes.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's bad. Okay, I'll
You keep
it
talking
muted.
over it. You keep talking over it, so it's breaking it up.
Okay, good. Okay, well, still, I'm going to be more careful now.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason the Nimitz came about, this experience, this sighting, is because of Lou Elizondo.
Mm-hmm.
He came across the story.
We spend millions of dollars.
Keep in mind, too, that what they're going to present tonight, or what they are presenting, I should say, is for general consumption. It's not you and I, our documentary, if you will. It's not,
Right.
Going to explore what we've done. I think that we were hoping to see an element of something that hasn't been revealed before, and that's, of course, possible. But by and large, again, this is for general consumption here.
It is. It is for people who are passerbys or have a general interest may watch this story, and some people will just, which was smart that they put it in the middle of the show to keep the audience, enthralled with it, I guess, and that they won't go anywhere. They usually watch the whole show, but we're almost done with this. Here we go. Okay, so they're saying Lou Elizondo, at the Pentagon, everything he was trying to bring to them was met with skepticism. So let me see what happens.
Elizondo says he and a handful of others kept
Huh.
the.
Apparently, they're saying that Lou Elizondo was responsible for getting those 3 videos declassified. He was on his way out the door, and they just said before Lou Elizondo left, he got the 3 videos declassified. I didn't know that. Am I not?
Either.
I should have known that if that was the story. All right, let me see how this ends up. Christopher Mellon is now on. He's saying, I tried to help Lou Elizondo. I didn't know he was going to be on. Here we go. He just said, we know that these aren't us, and I can say that with a high degree of confidence. It's not us, these objects. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He said that Mellon was concerned that nothing was being said or done about having these UAPs, go on the record. People were just brushing him off and not saying anything yet. Yeah, he was really concerned, which is why he did what he did. All right, hold on. What did he do?
Decided to do something.
Oh, here
In
it is.
2017, as a private citizen, he surreptitiously classified.
Oh, so Mellon is the one who got them declassified for Lou.
It's
Okay.
bizarre and unfortunate that someone like myself has to do something like that.
And he did it as a private citizen, not in his official, duties. So that's interesting.
Very interesting.
Issue like this on the agenda.
He joined forces with now civilian Lou Elizondo and
Uh-oh, something happened.
What happened?
It said something unblocked.
Each other in this apartment block in the small town of Monacore.
Whoa,
His
something
uncle,
happened.
Angel, played professional soccer.
It said this has been blocked, and then it
Not us. That's
yeah, and then it jumped forward and to the live because I've been pausing it, and now I had to go back to where I was. Thank God I was able to, but it's almost done actually. Hold on one sec. Yeah, it was really strange. It said something blocked, and then it jumped forward, like they didn't want me to be on hold or talking about it. So that's weird. I got to find out where I left. Oh, here we now they got Rubio in on the action. Hold on.
Street Channel.
Here we go.
Members of
we knew and understood that you had to go to the public.
He said we had to go to the public to get the public interested, to get the Department of Defense to look at all this stuff. So that's why Lou went public, and they're doing this full-on threat assessment on every TV show, every podcast they can go on, or Lou can go on. It's weird. This is just...
It's bizarre, man.
Yeah. I don't know if they planned all this, but it sounds like they were scrambling and found a way to get their threat out to the public. And well, here, I'm going to listen in. It's going to be quiet again. Sorry about the silence for a minute. I hope it's not that bad.
Oh, it's okay. Oh,
that's okay.
Sorry, there's something driving by.
Right. They're talking about how they resurrected ATIP and now it's the UAP task force.
service encounters.
Service members are now encouraged to report strange encounters.
And the Senate wants answers.
Rubio.
That's not supposed to be there. Is this?
He says anything that's not supposed to be there is a threat. Well, who are we to say something is not supposed to be there? It's just weird. I understand it. But as a ufologist, I think it's awfully strange. All these years we want answers, and we may be able to get the answers, and they're telling everybody the answers are, it's a threat, without getting the answers.
Exactly. Without understanding exactly what they're dealing with, they're calling it something and selling it off and explaining it as such. For all we know, we don't have rights to this airspace. For all we know, there are cloaked ships that are, just littering the sky that we can't see with our physical eye. Maybe they were here first. We don't really know, but we're being pretty presumptuous, I think, in making these determinations and then pitching it out to the public the way that they are.
We'll talk about if there was another way they could have done this as soon as we're done. All right, here we go. Rubio's still talking, but I'm not real interested in him. But it is interesting to hear his point of view anyway. So here I go.
Detailed analysis. This past December, while he was This is a bizarre issue.
They're talking about the
Pentagon and
180
other
days.
branches of the military have long. This time's going to be different.
The guy just asked him, the government has had a long history of dismissing this stuff. Well, why do you think this is going to be different next month?
Get that report.
Rubio says, because we're going to find out when we get the report. Oh, really? Wow, is he gullible? They sold him a bill of goods, didn't they?
They sure did, man.
Eleganzo melon.
In his back pocket.
He says, I don't think we should have this stigma deter us from getting an answer. Like the stigma that UFOs, you know, when you mention it to people, they giggle.
It's true.
He says, I want us to have a process to analyze the data, to talk about it more openly.
That there be a place where this is
Every
cataloged,
time it comes in,
analyzed,
let's have a place where it can be cataloged and talked about
until we get some answers.
until we get some answers. Wow, Rubio is acting very strange. I can't wait until this goes on YouTube so we can talk about it. He's got some strange facial things going on here. Like he's very stressed out about this conversation to me. I mean, that's what it looks like. And
Interesting.
it's weird. Yeah, he's biting his lip a lot. He's doing like this. It's very bizarre for him. That's it. Oh, yeah, that's it. That is it, my friends. What did we get today? Michael, I'll let you take over on this. What do you think? If I gave the information good enough, I hope I did. It's as best as we could do here. What did you take from what was just happening?
What I just took from this experience tonight was a fantastic evening where we could all hang out and once again talk about UFOs, UAPs, and the likes, and then decide, between ideas which one seemed to hold more weight and gravity while referencing an outside source. That's what I got out of this tonight. No, in all seriousness, Rich.
That was perfect. I'm like, oh, that's fine. That's exactly what I got too.
That's pretty much what I got from it. In all seriousness, again, I think that we, initially maybe had some expectation that we'd see something else come out, but as the program went on and your dictation was accurate, I very quickly realized that this was an introductory piece. But again, that begs the question, with all of these other introductory presentations that are being put out into mainstream media, is just one more here on top of that layer where it's just driving the idea, the notion, the concept into people without giving anything concrete in any way. Again, just maybe even into the subconscious by, doing this so many times over and over. Reiteration causes retention. So what about you, Rich? What did you get from this tonight?
Nothing. To be honest, yeah, nothing. Because everything what that was said has been said a million times over. Yeah. So I didn't get anything new but that. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest with you. Once I knew Lou was going to be on, I knew we weren't going to get anything new. That's nothing new, Lou. And that's a good one. I should put that on a t-shirt.
Nothing new, Lou.
Nothing new, Lou. It is an introduction officially. I think, getting the main players that are involved to say that it's a threat. And then they brought in Rubio at the end, saying we're going to get some answers in June. And he thinks that there's going to be answers to. And to me, it sounds like we're only going to get answers to what they're seeing. I don't think it's going to be disclosure by any means. But that's, if you were just a passerby and you heard Rubio say that, you'd be like, wow, they're going to really tell us everything in June?
That's what it sounds like. Right.
Yeah.
That's his angle.
It's weird. I know you have another, the Black Lotus coming on. So any final words on this before you take off?
I just want to say, again, it might be a reiteration from what I've said even before this started. I think this is just another branch of, intrigue when it comes to 180 days and this countdown to alleged disclosure. It's an introductory piece. It's a fluff piece, but it is an introductory piece. And you did make a good point about bringing in the key players. These are the faces that are out there talking, whether they've been elected or not. Probably haven't been, but they're there filling that spot. And unfortunately, they are our voice in a lot of ways, or at least it seems to the general public that their voice represents ufology at large. It was a curious production, and it's something I would have maybe seen some other time, but in more length. Would have made it even better. But it was a good introduction of what's happening currently, I think.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I couldn't play it so you can hear it being through me. I don't think that I'm really worried about what's gonna. But I hope that we don't get in trouble. So I want to thank you for coming on. I'm just going to hang out for a few more minutes. But Michael, you're going to be on Black Lotus here in about 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. So who's going to be on that show? Kitsy
Duncan, I believe, was the name.
Kitsy D.
Kitsy D, we'll say.
What is her deal? Duncan. Let's take a look. I know you got to go, but here I got it. Oh, okay. I don't know. It doesn't say any. I couldn't find anything. I did a Google search.
Oh, certainly find out.
Kitsy Duncan. I don't know. She looks like an interesting person, though. Is an American actress that girl? Oh, yeah, it is her. Known for her role as investigative host and lead investigator for the television series Oddity Files.
Cool.
Okay.
Very cool.
Well, Michael, thank you very much, man. You're a good friend. I appreciate you hanging out. Everybody go see Michael at Dark Hour Paranormal for all interviews and things paranormal. And you're also doing what? You're going boots on the ground doing some paranormal research, right?
Boots on the ground in respect to documentation, and we'll see what follows with that. I have a feeling it's going to branch into the documentation of paranormal investigations as a whole, perhaps rather than the focus on location, but that's just my initial vision. But Rich, thank you very much for having me on, man. This was a blast when you asked me to do it. I thought this is going to be fantastic. And what a historical moment. Again, whether, the breath is higher or lower in respect to, excitement here, this is part of the history of this time. And we might actually be talking about this in years to come, so thanks for letting me be a part of it, man, with you. Fantastic, brother.
Well said.
Thanks is all mine to you, bro.
Well, we'll be watching you on Black Lotus, but everybody hang out. We're not done yet. But thank you, Michael. We'll see you in a few.
All right. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you soon. Cheers, brother.
Right. Cheers. That was Michael Roser, everybody, Dark Hour Paranormal. Very nice of him to come on. And I'm glad that we didn't have to wait for the last segment of 60 Minutes to talk about it. But I didn't know what to expect tonight with the 60 Minutes program, to be honest with you. I hope that it came across, I was able to translate the message clearly enough the way we did it, because that's how we have to. But I still hope I don't get in trouble for that. So we didn't learn anything new. That was just a fluff piece to get people on board. 60 Minutes is more of one of the most reputable shows. Apparently nowadays, it's better than the news, I would imagine. But the fact that 60 Minutes did this is interesting. Years ago, oh my God, I can't believe it. Who was it? I think it was NBC, and me and Third Phase of Moon were talking about this. There was a show, now I can't remember it. UFOs are something, UFOs are real, I think it was called, with Peter Jennings in 2006, February 24th. There was a 2-hour docu-show that over 2 nights, I think it was back then. And after that show aired, Peter Jennings passed away from cancer. And nothing was really propelled forward in ufology at that time either. So the fact that this is, by the way, if you haven't seen that Peter Jennings UFOs Are Real documentary, check it out. It's definitely 1 hour they give praise, and the second hour they tear it down or reverse. Yeah, I remember it being 2 hours that were two totally different ways of talking about ufology. It was really cool. A lot of people back then were very angry for Peter Jennings not giving us anything new, which is what we're doing right now. We're not getting anything new. But back then, when Peter Jennings did his, it was more or less taking a poll of people in America. 54% of Americans believed in UFOs. Now it's something like 80. So times have changed since 2006. A lot of people believe in UFOs. Do you believe they're a threat? That's the question. Did they tell us with confidence that these are a threat? Yes. Did they prove it? No. How can they prove it? That's the question. Just by telling us they're in our airspace and we don't understand what they are, we don't understand who they are, makes them a threat. That bothers me a little bit, but I understand it. But do you think really we would have any outcome go our way if there was to be an invasion? Do you think we would be able to beat them? I mean, they've been here for hundreds, if not thousands of years, watching our every move. They probably have a number on each one of us. Actually, they just need our DNA, our blood, right? They can just get a drop of our blood and know who we are and track us, I assume. That's what I think would be happening. I think we've all been abducted. I think 2 million people a year get abducted or claim they've been abducted. That's a ridiculous amount. 2 million. And you know it's going to be at least 4 million and probably 8 million people that don't talk about it or didn't make the connection. So you're looking maybe 10, 15 million people a year being abducted, not knowing it, and being tracked, and everything we do is being monitored. I kind of feel like that is kind of the case here. I feel like sometimes there's just too many coincidences that couldn't have been just random. You know, it would have to feel like, my God, somebody designed this for me. I feel that is kind of how it works, but I'm not so sure. But if I ever tell you the story again, which I'm not tonight, of how I got into ufology and where I was in my life at the time, you would have said the aliens knew it was the right time to show themselves to you, or the UFOs, however you want to put it. It's weird. It is weird. When I talk to other people, they say the same thing. There's no other way I could have been doing the research if it was 2 years before I started, or a day. It's weird. I see a couple of super chats, man. IR film with a $10 awesome Sunday show super chat. Nothing new, Lou. Yeah, good one. Cheers. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that, IR film. $10 super chat. And Cousins Brothers, they are launching. Oh, hold on. I got another super chat from Robert Morgan. $4.99 says, why aren't any of the pilots being showcased as witnessing the UFOs, UAPs, not POC or women? Who's being discriminatory? Well, that's an interesting. But that woman was a pilot. She was one of the pilots who was in it. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot of women that are pilots, I guess. So maybe she was one of the few that saw it. Interesting point, though. Thank you, Robert Morgan, for the $4.99 super chat. Super generoso, guys. Pretty wild stuff. Oh, Third Phase of Moon just sent me a private message. Is it private? Or can I read it? Let's take a look. They are launching an experimental rocket to test the stratosphere out of North Carolina in a couple of minutes. I might be able to see it from Florida. Wow. What does this mean? 7.5 billion people, 12 million abductions equals 625 years. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Let's see here. This comes from fgraph72. I'll try to see if that launch, if I can see it, third phase. Hey, Rich, any thought on the NASA Black Brant 12 launch tonight? It is getting launched and will be visible on most of the East Coast if it goes off tonight. Should be awesome. Oh, yeah. That's what third phase just said. Interesting. Maybe who's launching? Well, let's go. Let me see if I can find the launch here. Right? LAUNCH. What is it? What is the hold on. Black Brant. Hold on. Here we go. Let's see if I can get it live now. Here we go.
Don Moore says yes.
So when this starts, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run outside to see if I can see it. While I'll keep the show going, I'll keep this on. I'll go outside and see if I can see anything. My computer's really just turned on, like the fans or the cooling. Wow. Why would that happen? I don't have a lot of stuff open. Mostly cloud. Well, it's clear here in Florida, but it's getting dark, man. In about 30 minutes, yeah, you can see right there. That is from the launch window is apparently right now between 8:54. So as soon as that thing launches, I'll grab the phone, I'll leave it running here, and then I'll go outside, see if I can see anything. That's kind of wicked. I'd have to look southeast. I'd have to look northeast. So north, east is behind me. So north would be that way. Okay. All right. I know where to go. I don't think I'll be able to see it. I have a lot of trees around me. And I know I won't be able to see it. See where that water tower is? This tower? That's about as tall the trees are around me. So I can't see this much. And if it's far away, which it will be, it's going to be lower in the horizon than higher up. I may not be able to see it, but I'll give it a try just for a goof. What's this, Paul? But the NASA Black Brant may be a threat. I know, right? That's a good point. Hey, man, I don't know what that object is. Oh, yeah, sure. They told me it's a rocket, but I don't recognize it. Threat. I'm shooting it down, man. Wouldn't that be wild? You see me out there holding a rocket launcher. I'm holding a rocket launcher. Yeah, so that's going to happen maybe within the next any minute between now and then. I don't hear anything. Let me go. I want to take a look and see if. Yeah, let me get rid of this. I'm going to do something here real quick to make this organized because I had this one going. There we go. I want to see if there's somebody talking anywhere. Nobody's talking on any of these live NASA. That one is from Rocket Gaian, Astronomy Films, BL Network, Infinite Space, SpaceX Missions. Let's go there. Yeah, they got music playing. I can't do that. Scrubbed. Scroll, that was 6 days ago. Live, Last Chance, NASA, Kinetic X Experiment launches to space by Raw Space. So let's take a look here. Nobody's talking. You'd think there would be people talking about what's going on. Let's try this one. Asteroid Station. Nope. Music. So nobody's talking. They're saying about 30 minutes. Somebody, I just saw a ticker at the bottom. All right, so I'm going to go pull up the actual one that I could play. Infinite space, SpaceX missions. We'll go there. My phone. What was that? Oh, it's somebody outside. I thought my phone was talking to me.
Brant 12 is
Yep, they're
71
talking.
and a half feet tall. That's about a 7-story building. The payload weighs around 900 pounds. And again, this is a 4-stage vehicle. It's the Talos Terrier, Black Brant, and the Nika.
That
The
sounded.
Talos burns out at about 6.4 seconds, which is about 1 mile at altitude. The Terrier ignites at 25 seconds. Black Brant, 35 seconds is when that ignites. And the Nika at 95 seconds. And that will be the final stage ignites at about 60 miles altitude. And again, at apogee,
Hey,
it's traveling
while
at
we're
7,000.
waiting for this, Scott Brown just sent me a video, and I want to show it here for you guys. He sent me something. While we're waiting for whoa, let me pull it up here. I think he wants me to show this. It's some strange things they caught on video last night in the state forest. Okay, Scott Brown, we'll play this for you, bud. It's from the channel Scott Brown on YouTube, and this is In the Field. Here. You know, I didn't ask Scott. Should I ask? Are you here, Scott? This is okay to play, I'm sure. Hey, what's up, everybody? By the way, thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Appreciate this tonight. You see what happened with me and Scott Brown? We started out rocky, and now we're friendly, and we're sharing videos, talking, having a good time. That's what it's about. Just having the conversation, as Lou Elizondo says. As long as we're having the conversation. No, Scott's a good guy. I understand him. That's why. All right, let's play it. These are some things that. Let me tell you something. I subscribed to Scott on his channel, and I hit the bell that gives you all the notifications, and here it is, the empty bell. I just realized that it did not. Wow, it says no notifications. I want all of them. Why would I subscribe to somebody and not do that? That is so not me. By the way, we lost another subscriber, so we're negative 18 for the month. Here we go.
Hey guys, what's going on? We captured a few things the other night. A lot of satellites, but a couple of questionable objects.
Oh, red flashes.
I'll let you take a look at them and see what you think.
It better light up the whole screen. Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
So I kept the camera there for another minute or two afterwards and nothing showed.
Wow, that is a really interesting red dot that appears around here. Seriously, that's like a very good red dot. See it here. Yeah, literally, it's impossible to tell, but still interesting that it's red. It looks like there might be something here. See it? Like around there, it's all black.
This one's a little strange because it's a full flash. You'll see it there, and then I'll play it again.
Oh my God, I've seen that flash many times while out sky watching. I say many, about a dozen times.
There was no light, no cars. We were almost virtually in pitch black darkness.
What? That is crazy. See, I'm telling you, when we go out in Skywatch, we are putting ourselves out there. We're a beacon of vibration, I think. I don't know. It's a flasher. It's amazing. Oh, I think I'm going to get a Psionics camera now, for sure. Mike Johnson said he's seen the flash.
So I've got to explain a little bit about
this. Could be an iridium flare satellite. They look like Let's hear what he says, and then we'll talk.
This. It was coming towards us completely.
Mind wiped. Yes. Yes, Bozo D Clown. Hey, good to see you're around, Bozo D.
Silent. No flashing lights. Without the cameras, it looked as if something was hanging below. And my research partner Dan and I both saw this. The camera didn't pick it up, so that detail's not really going to come out. This clip is sped up 4 times because it takes a while.
Oh, that's interesting. That it's sped up that much. Geez, that thing's moving slow. Interesting. No wonder why he showed it. Ho hum with a $5 super chat. Just to support super chat. Thank you very much, ho hum. And I recognize your profile picture. Who is that? Jesus?
To play it, so I just sped it up. So whatever it was, we had planes pass.
Interesting, Mr. Brown. That's I think that's interesting stuff. Nothing I think Third Phase of Moon would post because we like to see bigger stuff, things like that. But this is, to me, significant information that Scott got. Nah. Thank you, ho hum. Super generoso. Let's go back to the live feed here. Is this the one?
1,000 miles per hour.
Earliest possible pickup of the count would be 0024. Yeah.
Are they
so
doing
as
it?
you heard, the PI indicates he would still like to remain in a hold status. He's feeling optimistic. There are some clouds in Bermuda, however, that does look like they potentially could clear. He's asking to hold again for another 10 minutes just to evaluate the situation.
Sisters.
So we will remain on a hold.
Come on now, man. You mean to tell me, hold status at 3 seconds, that we can't launch this rocket because there's moisture that created clouds in the sky? What kind of technology is this? How are we supposed to? Never mind. I'm just blowing out. Interesting night tonight. I don't know if I'm gonna wait. I guess I will wait 10 minutes. We'll wait. If they delay it one more time, depending on how long the delay is, I'm not gonna sit here all night. But this has been an interesting show so far. I'm glad we did this 60 minutes thing because it verifies something that you and I are never going to see anything new. I'm more depressed now than I was at the beginning of the show. I was hoping that I don't know what I was expecting to hear tonight. I don't know. I really don't. I didn't give it too much thought other than I want to hear what they're going to say. And they said nothing new. That's so disappointing. Do you guys have any questions? Anything you want to ask me while we're waiting here for the clouds that are, clouds? Did you know that our rockets can't go through clouds? Very, very thick, very gooey, very sticky. It's humid. Yeah. Ridiculous. I think they wanted to film it the whole way. That's why they're waiting for the clouds. What's this, Robert Morgan? The question no one has bothered to ask is, why are they repeating the experiment from 1985? It requires it does? Okay. Well, I don't think they're going to be able to launch this thing because it looks like there's a lot of clouds. Thank you, Mr. Morgan, for verifying that for me. So it does require totally clear skies. Okay. They're doing an experiment. It's just a launch. Hey, do you know why we watch these things? Because you never know. That rocket may go up and then turn around and explode over people. Plus, rocket launches are cool as hell. And if I can see this from where I live, We'll find out, because as soon as that thing launches, I'm going to run outside, leave it playing, and then report back to you in about 2 minutes. It shouldn't take too long for it to get where I think it should be visible, right? How cool would that be? In Florida now, so we're able to see some things we weren't able to see before. And when they start getting close to launching people to go to Mars, or when they go to the moon in 2024, apparently they still are, I want to go down and watch it close up. I just found out Fort Lauderdale is 4 hours from me. 4 hours and 30 minutes to be exact if I don't take the tolls. 4 hours and 6 minutes if I do take the freeways. The freeways out here, you have to pay a toll. It's ridiculous. In Arizona, they're free. They're everywhere. They're to get you to A to B quickly. I don't like that. They do that here in Florida. That's how they make all this money. Yeah. On the way home from, I don't know if I mentioned it, on the way home from Clearwater, Florida, when I did the show last week, I thought I was going back home the same way I came here without hitting the tolls because I don't have the sticker yet. And I somehow got on the freeway not knowing what would happen. And 4 times they took my picture, and each picture is $25 a fine plus administration fees. So everybody's telling me it's going to be about $160 worth of fines. So that was the price of going to Clearwater Beach, which, by the way, I don't care. I'm just saying it's bullcrap. And they don't give you a place to get off conveniently either. And now I know why. There was no traffic on the way home that morning. There was no cars on the road. I'm like, this is amazing. It was like that Seinfeld episode where they were letting public people own or donate to a part of the freeway. And when Kramer bought a mile of the freeway, he extended the lanes and made them wider. Painted over the way and caused all this. What's going on? Nothing's going on here.
On our Instagram page, all of the social media avenues, we'll be glad to see what you're able to see where you are.
TD. For latest balloon data, we are still green for the main vehicle. Launcher refresh, please. Use requested. ROA, RSO.
Go for ROA.
Launcher refresh. Set azimuth 100.2. Set elevation 79.7.
Azimuth 100.2. Elevation 79.7.
That's a good readback.
LC, this is ROA.
This is LC.
Set 50K launcher to settings. Azimuth 100.2. Elevation 79.7.
And work.
By the way, I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight with me and Michael. Well, we got up to 160 people live at one point. And
ROA, this is LC.
It's pretty close to the record of 179.
100.2, elevation 79.7.
Good readback.
See, I'm right over here, right? I'm in Tampa, right here somewhere. How am I supposed to see it? In 90 to 20 seconds, I'll be able to see it, is what they're saying. That's cool. So I was right, about 2 minutes. All right, so I'll be able to see it. I hope the trees aren't in the way. Interesting, right? I don't know what music they're playing, but it's got to be copyright free because they can't play and get away with it. Thanks, Mike Johnson. It was fun tonight. Yeah, it was a good group chat. Everybody, you guys are asking some great questions, and we've just had a really good time. You are a better viewing zone than I am. Moonlicht. I expect to see some video. If you guys do get some cool video, send it to goofonradio@gmail.com. I'd love to provide a way to showcase that for you guys. Now, I planned on putting a video up for Third Phase UFO Report tonight, and I am still going to do that. So later on tonight, probably in 3.5 hours, there'll be a video, but I don't know, man. Maybe, I don't know. I'm confused on what I want to do. There's a lot of things I want to do. But that was nice of Michael to come hang out, get a different perspective. I planned on asking some other people, but I fell asleep. And if it wasn't for Michael calling me, 2 minutes after the show should have started, we wouldn't have been here. So I'm glad Michael called me and woke me up. I mean, what a wasted day, but I needed the sleep. All right, we should be coming up on it.
34, I believe.
We've got another 2 minutes before launch.
We are holding currently for clouds in Bermuda.
They're not going to be able to. They're not going to launch.
It does appear that the clouds are potentially clearing.
Oh, good.
We remain very optimistic that that will happen. Tonight is the last night of the launch window. For those that have asked why exactly is that the case, it's because much after tonight, the moon would be too far above the horizon for the barium vapors to be viewed. Since that is the key part of this experiment, that really causes a problem, and we would not be able to launch with those conditions. So fingers crossed that we are able to get the clearing we're looking for in Bermuda, and we're able to launch tonight. I know everyone's excited to see this rocket.
We are excited to see this rocket.
Wallops.
Are you guys excited to see this rocket?
Were to happen and we were not be able to do that, it would launch sometime later in the year.
Come on, clouds. So we're waiting for clouds to clear from Bermuda. They will launch in approximately 1.5 minutes, I think. 2 minutes, or prepare to. Yeah, what a duality of shows tonight here, right? We did the 60 minutes thing, and now we're doing the rocket launch. They couldn't have planned it any better for GoofOn. I appreciate the world just setting it up for us. See how this works? See, this is what I'm talking about. Coincidences and things that just fall into your lap because, hey, where'd I go? I didn't know. I don't like that. I could just do the show like this. Would you like me to do the show like this? You can tell I'm getting impatient. Lou Elizondo said the same things he's always said. Christopher Mellon said the same things he's always said. But they did bring in that female pilot. I forget her name already. Dietrich, Carol something. Carol Dietrich is her last name. 60 minutes, you'll never get back. Yeah, no doubt. And you too, man. You too. But thank you for the $2.22 X1. Great comment, because you know what? In a way, I might have to disagree with that, because let's look at it in a positive light. Thank you for the $2.22 super chat. Generoso, yeah. It's historic. They are literally officially announcing, in my opinion, they are officially announcing that UFOs are a threat. The Pentagon thinks they're a threat. The Navy thinks they're a threat. And of course, Lou thinks they're a threat. Poor Lou. What did we call him? Nothing. What was it? Lou what? What did I say, Lou? What was the name I gave him again? Lazy Lou? Oh, they're starting this now. Here we go.
So we had a question if we could explain the viewing map that we have been posting on social media and on our website at nasa.gov/wallops. Basically, wherever you are and whatever color you're located in, it just
Nothing new,
coincides
Lou.
with
Right.
what
God,
amount
I
of
couldn't
time
remember what I
you would
said.
be able to see the
Nothing
rocket
new,
in the
Lou.
sky. For example, if you live somewhere like Richmond, Virginia, you're in the 10 to
Wait,
30
what's this?
seconds range, meaning 10 to 30 seconds after we launch, you would be
Loopy
able to
Lou.
potentially see the rocket.
F you,
Georgia,
Lou.
it's something like 60 to 90 seconds. So if you're on the East Coast,
I like Loopy
if you
Lou.
find where you are on the map and just coincide it with the map legend, that should give you an idea of
Nothing
after
new, Lou.
launch,
It's on
how
TV
long it
right
would be
now,
before you could
Brandon said.
potentially
I'm watching
see
it too.
the rocket itself. That is
Oh,
not
by the
very
way, I got to see 60 Minutes first before some of you. Yeah, some of you in a different time zone see it after me. So it's always good to come to Goof On first now, because we will be at the forefront of everything that's coming out first, if I'm awake.
helium vapors.
Come on, man. It's been 10 minutes since you said it'd be 10 minutes. This is typical of NASA. Loophole Lou. Wow, that's a good one too, Betty Double
So
Kick.
our social media lead, Jamie, has just informed me that she's posted some guidance on where to look. For example, a lot of people have been asking, I live in Boston, for example, where should I look? Which direction? So Jamie has posted some information on that on our social media. But if you don't have social media, for example, Wallops is located on the Delmarva Peninsula, on the coast of Virginia. So if you just kind of look at a general map of the United States and determine where, directionally speaking, you are from Wallops Island, and then kind of point in that direction, if you will. But we are located on the Delmarva Peninsula, on the.
Yeah, I have. What did I call Lou? Lou's lips, sink ships. Oh God, I just had it. I can't remember anything today. It's bad day. Bad day for. I think I'm getting that disease when you forget stuff. What is that? What is it called? Mary Janicus? Short-term memory loss? So I want to talk to you guys about something really strange that happened yesterday and during the show. This is really weird. A lot of people, you know that our cell phones can be hacked and people can listen to what we're saying, maybe watch what we're doing through the camera. There's a lot of things that these phones can show strangers. They can record our conversations. Even if the phone is muted, they can still somehow listen, or even if the camera's turned off, they can somehow watch. It's pretty scary. And I'm not sure if that's with the iPhones. I think those are pretty much hack proof, as we've learned recently from Skinwalker Ranch TV show. They're hack proof. Stupid. Last night I was at a barbecue with my family, and we were talking about strange songs, like, and I played this song on the show and got a copyright claim. I won't play it again, but it's a song that goes, it's the little Cadillac song, I believe. It goes, now we're doing 110 as fast as I can go. Behind me. You know, and then it goes beep, 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 beep. So that song, we played it at the family function. Last night, about 10 minutes after the show started, somebody sends a message and says, hey, Rich, beep, beep. So I'm like, that must be a family member last night. Well, my cousin asked everybody if they went to my show last night. These aren't regular watchers, but they all said no. Yet this person who goes by the name Van Gogh, let me look it up while we're doing this. That's what I should have done. I fell asleep after I found out. Van Gogh.
There is a possibility we would hold again at T-minus 3 minutes.
Doing this.
That has not been determined yet. So
God.
We're counting down and again crossing fingers.
And it's Van G-O,
will not have
not
to be the
G-O-G-H. Yeah, there's
great
nothing
news.
here.
For now, we will be picking up the count in just a few moments.
Oh, good.
Elevation 79.7.
All right, here we go.
And work.
Anyway, Van Gogh, G-O is how this person spelled it. Isn't anybody in my family.
50K launcher settings are azimuth 100.6 elevation.
So how did they know about the beep beep? Pretty weird. It's almost as if they were saying, hey, Rich, beep beep. We heard everything you were talking about. We heard you singing on the way home. I hope you did. I was playing Rage Against the Machine all the way home. The good album. F you. I won't do what you tell me.
10 minute PM.
Those who die
M&O.
are justified.
Turn on data recorder.
Oh, here we go. Look, I see UFOs.
Paranormal to convince in 10, 9.
I'm going to run outside once they launch.
6, 5.
I'll leave this running.
3.
Here we go.
2, 1. Mark. 10 minutes and counting.
Oh, it's 10 minutes?
M&O, recorders are on. PM copies, check 160.
Did he just say it's 10 minutes?
Just a reminder, that count you just heard was to begin the terminal count. So we are now currently at T-minus 10 minutes and counting. Actually, it's T-minus 9 minutes and 41 seconds and counting.
51.
CLC, check 161. ACS, check 162.
I'll wait.
EDS, check 164.
I'll wait.
10 minute PM.
10 minutes, I'll wait. I don't know what else to
M&O.
talk about.
Check
Let's do
ground
this
station
while
levels
we're
and
waiting.
confirm. In work.
I'm going to play a video from Third Phase of Moon. That's a good way to keep us entertained, right? In case none of you saw this video, oh wait, I did play that.
PM M&O, ground levels are confirmed.
Let me see if this is the one I
PM
want.
copies,
really
check
good.
165.
Oh yeah, they already talked about it. Yeah, that's right. No, I don't want to play that again. Hold on a second. I want to play something from Third Phase that we haven't talked about. And I haven't been here, so maybe I could find something from a week ago. I think this one might be a good one.
And it comes
No, I can't play that. Maybe this one, these otherworldly events.
26, 19.
This is Shrat. Nah, I'm not in the mood for Shrat.
If you're just joining us,
No.
we are counting down for the Black
Maybe
Brant
this one
12
here,
launch
let's
from
see.
Wallops Island, Virginia, for the Kinetics mission. We
No.
are currently at T-minus 8 minutes and counting.
No.
We have been waiting for opportunities to be able
Well,
to
it's an
launch this rocket for about a week. Tonight is the last night of the countdown, and it sounds like we are finally potentially getting an opportunity with clear skies in Bermuda. So we are, again, crossing our fingers and hoping that pans out.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a possibility we will do a 3-minute hold.
Oh my
But
God.
we are hoping that is not the case. So stay tuned with us in the next few minutes for more information.
Oh my
from
God. They
Wallops
just
Island.
keep nickel and diming us every minute. It's so frustrating. You know? Just let's get on with it. Just launch it. And that's it. It's over. Went through the clouds. Magical. I know they can't. I'm just being anal. I'm sorry. On
BTM,
hell.
check 170. Form check 171.
I am looking for a different
866122.
video. Let's see. Chicago police chase UFO. That might be interesting. Let's take a look. All right, I'm going to play this interesting looking video. Why not? While we're waiting another 6 minutes and 45 seconds, I'm going to mute this, leave that running, and then I'll play this video. Wait, hold on. I got an idea. Hey, who'd that be? There we go. Now, whoa, hey. Oh. See the magic of popping fresh goof on? You see what we're doing? Look at the beauty. It's a miracle I even survive. All right, here we go.
A special report. Let me tell you, a lot of UFO videos have been coming into me lately.
I can't go full screen.
To bring them to you. Things are falling out of the skies. We got reports, follow-ups. Let's just get to it. Take a look at this video.
All right, I'll go full screen. Hey, Chichus. Guys, we're just holding for the launch. It's another 5.5 minutes, so just hang tight while we watch this video. That's a cool shot right there. You can see it still, even though it's far away. It's moving like a balloon. Let's see how the clouds are moving. Are they going the same direction? I bet they are. Yep. Yeah, you can see the clouds moving the same direction. Cover your mouth, kid. That's interesting, but that's clear as hell, isn't it? That is really wild.
Right, we're looking at this video again. I'm kind of slowing it down and I'm trying to get in as close as possible and get a good look at whatever this thing is. But as it comes into focus, it is very clear that it is unlike anything I've seen before. Let's just put it that way. Have you guys seen anything like this? It has its own characteristics of a morphine capability. Brent, what do you make of this?
It's so stationary. That's what caught my eye. It doesn't oscillate or move. It seems to be drifting very kind of consciously. It seems to know what it's doing. It's so strange, but it's very cool when she pulls back that you can see that this thing's quite some distance from her. So whatever we're looking at, I'm going to say it's pretty big.
You know, if this was a balloon, and it can very well be a balloon, it's just rare to see balloons not moving back and forth or wobbling. You know what I mean? It's interesting. I don't trust it, but I like it. It's really weird.
I'm going to say probably about the size of maybe a vehicle or a minibus. Notice the lights. It's kind of just reflecting. I'm wondering if these are power source lights or just a reflection off the sun glinting off this object. I just saw that bird fly right next to it too as well. So it gives a little scale of what this thing is. It's big, Blake.
Yeah, some people might dismiss this as some kind of mylar, but it doesn't seem to me that it is. It definitely seems that it's there, it's suspended, it's not a drone, it's not CGI in my opinion. I think what we're looking at is legit. It's in the sky, and this is great stuff coming out of Japan. Guys, I want to get your opinion. What do you think?
It is interesting. It reminds me of something from Japan.
Quite incredible. When a police officer reached out to me earlier today.
Oh, that's right.
His video and testimony in regards to what he captured while he was on patrol.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I remember this. Remember, cops are great observers. They're even better than than somebody who has, oh, I don't know, 20,000 hours looking at the sky. All right, let's make sure that launch isn't going anywhere yet.
Check 191.
EDS check 190. PLC check 192. PTM check 194.
I like what I'm doing here tonight. This is fun.
T-minus 1 minute, 30 seconds and counting.
check.
All right, minute and a half.
ACS check 193.
PLC, go.
Go.
PTM,
Go.
F10,
Go.
Swarm,
Go.
CPR,
Go.
ACS,
Go.
EDS,
Go.
Dartmouth,
Go.
Goddard,
Go.
UNH,
Go.
PI,
Go.
MM's go, SRPO,
SRPO go.
check 197.
1 minute.
All stations are go. Reporting go for launch. 1 minute and counting. On the final night of the countdown.
I had
Can't
the
write a
mute
better
button
story
on.
than this.
I may have to run outside. So I have 90 to 120 seconds. So I'm going to sit here for the first couple of seconds of the launch to make sure it took. And then
40
I'm going to, just so it doesn't explode. And I'm going to go outside with my camera and see if I can see it. So.
Minus 30.
All right. 30 seconds.
Circuit armed.
Giggity, giggity. What if they respond? That'd be cool.
ACS check 199.
All right.
Minus 10.
Here we go.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Plus 1.
Whoa.
2, 3, 4.
I got my
5,
camera ready.
6, 7, 8,
16
9.
tracking.
Plus 10.
Radars 2, 5, and 18 are tracking. ACM is enabled.
All right, guys, I'm going to go outside.
20.
I'll be right back.
Radar 3 has a good track on the booster. Second stage ignition.
Again, as we told you,
Second stage separation and third stage ignition.
it's a beautiful, beautiful show here. Again, if the camera you're on the screen right now is kind of in and out, again, based on the clouds in the Wallops area. But kudos to our tracking team doing an awesome job of staying locked in.
Plus 1 minute.
Third stage burnout. OSS is so on channel 1. You're clear to the pad. Be advised there were some chunks coming down. We noticed on video. Over. We have nose cone ejection. Third stage separation and fourth stage ignition. Burnout of fourth stage. D-spin.
2 minutes.
With payload separation. Radar 3 is on the main vehicle now. 2, 3, 5, and 18 are tracking. Barium number 1 separation, number 2 separation.
The barium tracers have separated.
Bob A doors open. Bob A is eject. Positive door break wires, micro switches on the Bob A's.
Hear them talking about
Hey, Bob.
Bob. They're
High power.
calling the
60 I'm seeing strong
secondary.
signal on ejectable.
They're calling the secondary payloads Bob. So if you hear them speak of Bob, that's what they're talking about.
PDR, so can you meet me on 5?
Well, folks, there you have it. It's like a great season finale of your favorite TV show, or the last 4th and goal on your favorite football team, and a touchdown at the end. So congratulations to the team for having this the tenacity to stay focused for this whole long window, and just to get this launch beautifully and perfectly tonight. So congratulations to the launch team, and thank you to everyone for staying with us over the past week. We appreciate your enthusiasm. We appreciate your encouragement, and for both commentator guy Keith and for myself, Rebecca, and Jamie, we are definitely very appreciative of all your support.
ACS pointing it, taking Bob target.
So that's about it from Wallops Island tonight. We will
Bob
have...
B doors open. Bob B is eject. Positive break wires and micro switches.
Nothing. I couldn't see anything.
Sounds like the Bob's doors are
16
opening.
seeing strong signals on TM links.
God, nothing. I mean, how long did I have to stay out there, you know? And nothing there. Yeah, I mean, I did take some video to show you guys. I'll show you here in a second of what it looked like. Oh, I drop it on the keyboard like a schmuck.
Unfortunately, we're not going to have video of the vapor tracers.
Yeah, me
However,
neither.
If you are still hanging around, you should see them, if you're going to be able to see them in your location, in about 5 minutes.
It's too bright.
We'll hang around here in case there are questions about it, but we are seeing some
It's too bright in
amazing
here.
imagery coming in
Hold on.
of the launch from Facebook and Twitter. Again, if you have those photos, please post them so we can see them. Let us know where you're viewing from. We will hang out a little bit longer, but again, we won't have any video of the
There's no way I could see it.
barium vapors. But I do, for those that
I want to
not
go
gonna
back
hang with
out
us,
and
we do
check,
just,
but
again, wanna
I mean,
thank
I was
you
out there 4
for
minutes.
your encouragement and for staying with us over the past week. Again, like I said, this is like a season finale.
I
Although
thought it
wasn't
would be here.
a
I thought it would
cliffhanger this
upload
time,
it
it
to
was a
my
successful ending
account
that we were
on,
all looking to
so I
see.
could
So
show you, but it
congratulations to
hasn't
the Kinetics launch
uploaded yet.
team. Again, please feel free to send us your photos, and we will
All right.
share them.
Well, that's that. Not much. Too many trees, man. Too many trees. There's nothing I can see. I'll show you what I'll show you why if anybody had a great view, it would have been me if there were no trees in the way, but I think it's too far away, too many trees, and I am right at the outskirts of that blue map that they were showing. This thing here. I mean, I'm right here. Right here. And so for me to look all the way this way, I would have had to have had the clearest view of all. And I'm telling you, I was out there for 4 minutes. Didn't see it. I taped for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah, I did look out for crocodiles, alligators, whatever. But I do look for that stuff now. All right. Well, yeah, I tried. what a great night tonight. If you missed it, Michael Roser from Dark Hour Paranormal joined me earlier, and we talked about what was happening on the 60 Minutes show. So if you want to rewind and watch, it's there for you. Hold on a second. Why can I not see my stuff? See, I hate this. I got to grab it. It won't let me grab. I don't want that. I want to pull this whole thing down, but it won't let me. I'm trying to. There we go. Yeah, it is weird how my monitor is set up. I can't see all this stuff unless I do what I just did. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for hanging out. We're going to take off now, so I appreciate it. What an impromptu show, but kind of promptu. It was in the middle. But thank you all for hanging out tonight. Moderators, super chatters, great job as always. Thank you for your support and your time. Much needed here at Goof On. Thank you very much to Michael Roser. Thank Dark Hour Paranormal. He is on Black Lotus right now if you want to go check out the remainder of that show. And thank you, newcomers and veterans alike, for even just giving the show a minute or two. I appreciate that. We got up to 159, was it, or 160? Not bad for a Sunday show. I think Sunday needs a show. I'm thinking of doing a Sunday show. Maybe I'll get rid of Saturday and do Sunday. I can't go every day, can I? Maybe I will. All right, guys. Thanks again. If you ain't looking up, you ain't looking out for ufology. Good night, everybody.
Yes, I am. Well, I'm not. I don't care if he does find me gone. But Frida, I beg you, think about what you're doing. Everyone says he's a wicked man. What about him? Who wants to be good if being good is singing hymns and praying all day long? He's doing what's best for us, I'm sure. It might be best for you. It's not for me. I'm going, and you might as well stop arguing about it. And I warn you, if you dare tell on me, Frida, you know I wouldn't do that. I'm just telling you. You know what will happen if you do. Stop it, you're hurting me not half as much as I will if you don't keep quiet.